Hi, everyone. Welcome back. It is May 2021, and we are Midwich Live. How you like that? I am once again joined. My name's Chris Neto. Before I go ahead and start giving you all the fun stuff that we're going to do today, a little bit of an introduction. My name's Chris Neto. I'm a market development manager at 𝐡𝐻𝑚, and I am joined by my wonderful host here, Jenny Hicks from Midwich. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Thanks, Chris. Welcome, everyone, to our third Midwich Live show, your favorite Friday AV talk show. We're streaming around the world via Midwich's YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch socials. And if you don't get to watch today's show in full, don't worry. You can watch it back via Midwich's YouTube channel. Just search the Midwich Group, not forgetting to subscribe. Or if you don't like our pretty faces, you can listen to our podcast version, which is available on demand from Midwich Sounds. And please use the chat function on whichever platform you're viewing on to raise your questions. We will see them if you post them throughout the show.
So, Jenny, we are going to have a great action-packed show today. Again, I fly off script, so when I say action-packed, it's very nerdy when I say that. Please do not expect there to be any special effects or anything. We are working on that. Producer Ben is actually trying to get us some cool lighting effects and sort of wild things to happen to spice up the show and make it more grand.
Yeah. So this is the potential show of like bad and bloopers and so on, isn't it? Because we were going to try something that broke about 6 minutes ago.
Yep.
And so now we're going to try something else. So if this show, if you go, wow, that really didn't work, we'll learn and we won't do it again. But we're testing the software that we use this week.
I have to make a comment though, Jenny. I aside, let's break apart from our tech conversation. I have to compliment you on the Harry Potter castle that's behind you. Please tell me that's a Harry Potter. There. It's getting there. We want to see the completion of it. So now, folks, as we are doing this live stream, as Jenny's working on her Hogwarts castle thing, and you see the production, feel free to comment on how it's going and how it's slowly developing or quickly developing. So anyway, today we're discussing the very timely topic of hybrid workforce. Now, we've all done work from home, but hybrid workforce and hybrid working is where we are going. Regardless of where the conversations have started and have gotten to at this point, hybrid workplace right now is something that we are preparing for because it appears to be imminent. Is that correct, Jenny?
I think it is. So, I mean, it definitely is for Midwich in the UK right now. So we're planning to open our doors, shall we say, to anyone who wants to come back, whereas up until now we've told them stay away, to who wants to come back to the office from July the 1st. And what that does mean is that we're doing what I think a lot of other businesses will be doing, and that is enabling as many rooms as we can to support video, because we know that we're going to be in a transition period whilst some people stay at home and some return. And I have a message, I guess, for the channel, and I feel really strongly about this. This is a transition period. This is a learning period. So if you are right now installing, selecting, procuring, or selling kit to go into businesses, and those businesses are entering a transition period, and they're not a blue chip company that knows exactly how their culture is going to fall after this, because they've already had this work from anywhere culture. It's time to learn. It's not time to guess. And it's definitely not time for us as an industry to start telling people how their workforce is going to be. So, the level playing field, that's going to go. And at the beginning of this, the first time we looked like we were going to come out of lockdowns, we talked a lot about cameras with wide field of views, right? Because everyone's going to have to be spaced out and they need to all come into the camera shot. But I think at that time, we really forgot about the level playing field that we've all had whilst we've been at home, where we're all the same size, where everyone's looking forward, no one can turn their backs on anyone, and so on. And that etiquette, that's gone, because our physical good manners are coming back when some of us are in a meeting room and some of us aren't. So that remote experience, if you're on a super wide field of view camera, it might not be right for you. And actually automated speaker tracking is going to give that remote person the better experience that they've been used to at home. Everything's got a flip side, hasn't it? I talk a lot about noise pollution because it's something that companies are saying, oh gosh, what if everyone's on video at the same time and so on. That works the other way as well. You might find when you get back in that even though you've created all of these booths for people to go and do stuff, that if loads of people are away from their desks, that then those that stay at their desks have phone or video conversations and they can be heard crystal clear. So actually what you needed was sound masking. So that's my big bugbear, takeaway, petition at the moment for the industry of use this transition period between whether it's now, next month, the month after that you plan to start getting back into the office to learn and to figure out how people have developed their own working style whilst they've been at home, not under your corporate influence, and then take all that on board and make your decisions from there forward. But hey, Chris, you work from home anyway. You worked from home before all this. So,
Yes.
What changed for you?
Nothing. The only difference is me moving, right? Aside from me being here is me physically going on the road to do the trade shows. And I know everybody's itching for a tabletop show, a trade show, any type of show whatsoever, as their excuse to finally go out and see, feel, and touch and play with product, right? I think we're all reached that kind of like anxiety level. I'm fortunate, you're fortunate in the same capacity that we both get sent some cool things to look at and play with before others get to see. So that's great. And as a matter of fact, this morning I tweeted about the fact that it is May. And in May, the AV universe has been disrupted, as I said it today. And the reason why is this. By May 28th, right, there are 3 things that will probably be the most loud on Twitter and on the social universes right now, at least on the United States side of the world. It affects the entire industry in general. One, our inboxes are inundated with product promises of products that are going to be shown very soon. The inboxes are kind of quiet, right? The other thing is there's people on the internet, on the social worlds, all complaining about Orlando's humidity, and followed real closely by, please tell me what comfortable footwear I should be wearing. Those conversations are not happening right now. So marketing people from the AV world are kind of in the panic mode, I guess, because everything that we know of as AV has been disrupted because of this. Now, for me personally, getting back on the road, it's wait and see. The hybrid workforce, there's things that are very interesting to me. I want to see the 6-month year out. I want to see how many companies took the time right now and not focus on the conference rooms, but actually upgraded or allow the policy for people to sit at their desk and video call into meetings. I remember working for a non-AV company while I was working for it as an end user. We were not allowed to, to do the video calls interdepartmental inside like the same campus. If you were on campus, it was expected that you met in the same place. So I'm interested to see how that culture is going to change, especially if you are somebody that are, that goes into the office and still wants that experience, but now you have to kind of get into that flow that you are going to be bringing in people that may not be that far down the road or could be in the next building who are not going to walk over. And it's not because they don't want to or they're being lazy. It's just that's the way it works. And I think that etiquette is going to be, it's going to be a challenge when it goes back to work, that some people are just going to have to understand that some people just are not going to be comfortable with going back. So very interesting times ahead for us.
Very interesting. And I, for one, I don't know if I'm ready to start wearing shoes again. Like, I think that's my favorite thing. I'm either in Crocs or slippers or socks, right? And I love that. And I find it's irritating when I have to go pick my boy up from school because I have to put shoes on for the first time. If I go to the office, I'm going to have to wear shoes all day.
I need to hear this from the folks that are watching. Please, now I have a pair. You just said you had some too, but we both have Crocs. What is the problem with Crocs? Are they okay to wear anywhere outside of your house? I think is the question I would like to find out, because I've been scared to not even go out in Crocs. My kids have kind of threatened me. I've had people on the social channel say, absolutely stay in your yard and make sure that they do not leave your yard. what's wrong with Crocs? They're comfortable.
So I've experienced this, right? We have this great attraction here in Norfolk. It's called Bewilderwood. It's all about fairies and elves, and there's loads of like play areas and stuff. And we were going as a family to Bewilderwood, and I realized once I was in the car that I had not changed my shoes and I was still wearing my purple Crocs. And my other half, I said, oh, it'll be okay, won't it? He went, no, it won't. And we turned around and we drove back 11 miles so that I could change my shoes because he was too embarrassed to walk around the kids' theme park with me in my purple Crocs. So, guys, Crocs, yes or no? Let's really... Only if it's lightning.
Well, thank you, Tim, for...
Thanks, Tim.
I guess it's a safety shoe. I don't know, but wow, I guess Crocs are definitely a sticking point for people. You either love them or you absolutely hate them. There is not even a mild hate. There is a disgust. It's weird, but anyway.
Well, what I can say is we actually employ. I won't name and shame him on this live, but those that do work at Midwich will know quite possibly exactly who I'm talking about. We have the Crocs connoisseur and expert within the Midwich sales staff. So if anyone is looking for specific Crocs related advice, please reach out to me or quite possibly any Midwich Limited UK contact, and we'll put you in touch with a guy who can help you in your Crocs choices if it's something that you want to get into. But hey, I want to also ask a sensible hybrid workforce related question to the audience at the same time, and that is, are you going back to the office? And if you are, how many days are you going in? How many days are you planning to be at home? So whether it's a 2, 3, 5, 0, however you want to put it, but the first number should be the days you're going or planning to be in the office or think you'll be in the office, and then the second number that you post on the chat on whichever platform you're watching on should be when you expect to be at home, out and about, at the pub, in a coffee house, wherever it is. That would give us some great insight as to what the feel is out there for hybrid working, home working, or work from anywhere. So
I'm interested.
Fingers crossed they start coming through, but I think the Crocs thing has definitely taken off.
I should have been prepared a little better. I should have had my Crocs on, walk over to my D10 and start sketching on some who's for and against, and creating those battle lines. I think that would have been absolutely funny to watch who's going back, and I can't wait for the people that start saying 24/7 and not confusing the whole thing. We're asking for days in, days out, or days in the office and days out of the office, or what, so on and so forth. Give us your best estimate of what you think it is, and we'd love to hear it. We're hearing 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3 seems to be the overall.
The 2, 3, and 3, 2 is definitely a thing, right? That seems to be what everyone's going for, whichever way around they're picking it. And let's throw another one out. I wonder if if there's any business leaders out there. Would you accept Crocs in the office? I think that's probably enough of our questions to the audience for now. But Chris, you just name dropped a product that sits behind you, your D10 D7, and that's a really good intro for our special guest, isn't it?
That was called a segue for us in the TV business, because now we're experienced professionals. This is our third show. Man, I even went off camera. That's how professional I am. This is our third show, so maybe, is it third? Maybe it could be fourth, but right now it's the third. We'll call it the third to go with it. I would like to bring in a D10 expert, because you know what? I have my D10 kind of sitting there right now. I should have been up there sketching along, making characters, and preparing for the grand entrance of our esteemed guest, Mr. Remington from D10, who's going to join us shortly. But I have questions in the hybrid workforce. I think D10 and especially Zoom have a huge play in where things are going to go. I think that Doug will be able to point out some things that they do really cool. But I think one of the things that we're actually going to see, we may even have a little queued up little thing prepared for Doug's entrance, because we just can't have somebody from D10 just stroll on in here without him making a grand entrance. So absolutely, we're gonna lay out the fanfare. We're gonna get the horns, and well, at least it's not the pitchforks and torches and storming at the castles and stuff like that. So absolutely, we're going to bring in Doug. And but before we bring in Doug, we're going to queue up his video. So I can't wait, because I saw a little sneak peek of it. It's world premiering, because that's what we do here is massive world premieres. We're like, you know, we're like the BBC or TMZ. I don't know. We're figuring it out as we go along. Is that not right?
So, have we? I think we've got the video. So, yeah, Doug's little cheat, rather than come on and waste his words. He's got a fantastic video to give us all an introduction to who D10 are, what they do, and what products they offer. Let's play the video.
Excellent.
To the new future with D10 and Zoom, where innovation powers your meeting experience. D10 makes it easy to return to the office with award-winning solutions for every workspace. Large conference rooms, huddle spaces, in-office phone booths, and home offices. D10 is the perfect solution for the hybrid work environment with true all-in-one devices. Simplify your meeting spaces and replace the need for external components and messy cables. D10 devices set up in minutes. Just plug it in and it just works. Safely return to the office with D10 and Zoom. Transform existing displays into a touch experience with D10 Go and D10 Mate. Use D10 as your virtual receptionist to greet visitors. Start and manage meetings hands-free from your mobile device or voice commands. Leverage digital signage to share information throughout the office. D10's innovative technology drives powerful collaboration. Experience crystal clear audio and lifelike video. Increase participation and engagement. Easily share content. Illustrate your ideas using whiteboarding. And mark up documents and presentations in real time. Join a Microsoft Teams meeting directly from your D10 device. Upgrade to true all-in-one devices for a modern, simplified meeting experience. D10 and Zoom, innovating the new future together.
Look at that introduction. Wow. Wow, Doug. I mean, seriously, nobody in the history of Midwich Live has had an introduction like that.
Well, we had to live up to your big tee up there, Chris. It was pretty grand, so thank you.
Oh, hey, you know, what you guys bring the goods. I mean, this is world premiere. What other show does that? So thank you, Doug. Doug, can you tell us about yourself and what your role is with D10 and all the good things that you do with D10?
Yeah, before I do that, I'm just going to tell you I'm firmly in the Crocs camp. I think they're probably one of the most essential work from home accessories. I'm actually disappointed I don't have mine on at the moment, but yeah, I'm in the Crocs camp. I'm not sure about coming in the office with them though. That's probably a step too far. Yeah, hi there. Hi, Jenny as well. I'm the GM for EMEA at D10, so I'm responsible for the whole EMEA region. We've got a team covering, and we've been expanding, right across. Midwich have been amazing helping us achieve that. And responsible for building our very fast-growing scale-up business and kind of revolutionizing the meeting room space. So it's an exciting space to be in right now.
It is. So I have an interesting question on this one. So as I mentioned at the beginning, we're working through at the moment, and we have now selected what kit to put into our meeting rooms to enable as many spaces as we can for video whilst we sort of gradually phase people back into the office. And we, sat down and we were quite conscious of trying to make sure that no one's job became harder, right, when they return to the office from being at home for such a long time. And a logical choice, therefore, would be meeting rooms where you still hosted from your laptop, bring your own meeting. But our workforce is split pretty much 50-50 between PC or slice users and laptop users. So we've opted for room systems, which tees up quite nicely for you guys, because you guys are all about the all-in-one device, Zoom rooms. So what is it about that room system where everything you need is there and ready for you to interface with? What is it you think that's so special about that?
That's a good question. I think the core of what we do is about making the meeting experience as simple, seamless as possible. So it really is so people can focus on their jobs and what they want to do and not worry about the tech. And so the two things, I think sometimes BYOD can add a little bit of complexity to that. I think, but also secondly, the room-based systems provide that kind of optimal experience, you know, working with the platforms to give you that kind of richest experience in your meetings, and super simple, so you can focus on what you want to do.
Agreed. So you were all about the one device, right? And then this year you've released D10 Go and Mate. Talk me through that. What made you decide you wanted to get into that part of the market?
Yeah, so it's coming this summer. We're really excited about it. Yeah, I mean, we still think of it as the all-in-one mindset, right? It really is the all-in-one minus the display. So, you know, we really drive our roadmap off our customers, and a lot of people were asking us to have that D10 experience, but they had displays that they still weren't ready to shelve just yet, and they really wanted to leverage some of that estate. So it was really driven by that desire to be able to leverage those screens, but have the D10 experience that comes, so that the device has got everything you would expect, you know, with the cameras, the mics, the OS, and the PC built into the unit. So everything's in there all in one. You just add the display. So yeah, it's the same experience, but without the screen.
I got one more. So this is an area, right, that's just saturated. So we have so many options in this space of this sort of conferencing soundbar with mics and speakers, and then the camera's built in. What's different, Doug? What's different about the D10 offering?
Yeah, so it really is the full kind of Zoom room in a box as well for a starting point. Yeah, so that's included. Some people don't realize that the Zoom room software platform's already loaded up on the OS, as well as the D10 firmware as well. But probably one of the most exciting things for a lot of people is the tablet. So the Mate is the tablet that comes with it, and people are usually used to the control panel as the control device, but it does all the stuff you would expect from a control panel, but it actually screen mirrors as well. It's also designed to be held very nicely in one hand, balanced as you walk around the room. So as well as being able to use it as a control panel, which you actually get to see that full mirroring of the screen. And you also get that functionality that everyone knows from D10, which is the whiteboarding and annotation. So you can do that from the panel, but you can do it as you walk around the room as well. So we think that's one of the things that a lot of people are really looking forward to.
You are short selling yourself, sir. There's one thing that you haven't mentioned, and I will say that one of the things that I have noticed through the pandemic is the fact that we do use a lot of Zoom, whether it's I use it on my computer, or I go to my D10 and my D7 and make my calls from the Zoom room. But one of the things that you haven't mentioned is a very subtle thing that D10 does, and does very well, but you guys need to push this a little harder on your marketing department. So please, I will take full credit if you guys go ahead and do this. You guys use the Zoom interface, right? So the familiarity of people going back into the office, which may get underplayed in this whole thing, is that if they are comfortable playing and using a Zoom on their PC from home, there is no difference walking into a space and touching that screen, right, and launching a meeting, right? So that familiarity is that alone will bring people into a space because they know it, right? I've worked as an end user, and bringing people into a conference room that had complicated systems and complicated touch panels, and the GUIs may not have matched because standardization wasn't allowing that to happen, because maybe we had different programmers who couldn't get the program files. Having that same interface is a more inviting, more welcoming experience to people, especially as they, kind of quietly head back into the office and hope that things have changed and hope that things are better. And to come in and see, a working system with the system that they know how to use already, I think is an unfair advantage that you guys have over the other people. So just want to point that out, and marketing the team at D10. I'm
writing that down, Chris. I'm taking notes.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're absolutely right. The Zoom room user interface is amazing, right? It's so intuitive. One, it's familiar, but two, it's super intuitive. And one of the things that we talk about a lot is if you go into a room and you just want to screen share, so everything is done wirelessly, right? But you literally, even if you don't know how to use that aspect of it, you literally click the share content button and it tells you exactly how to do it. It's so easy. And like I say, super familiar to most people, but even the pieces that may not be familiar are so easy to follow. So yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris, you're seeming pretty confident here, Doug. So if you're a pretty confident guy, I think that maybe you might be up for taking a trip in New York, or are we in London today, Chris?
I think I'm going to go to London because I've been to New York. Now I want to go to London, and I want to go to the Shard because that is where I think I need to go do some business. Doug, you want to go on a call with me?
That'd be great. Yeah.
Absolutely. You're buying coffee when we get to the top. I'm just saying, because I haven't enough. I'm wired. I'm shaky. So let's go. Can we get into the elevator? Because I'm going to give you 5 minutes of craziness. Yeah, I'm going to be quiet. I know it sounds kind of weird. Jenny's going to get off on the first floor, and then she's going to meet us because she's taking the express to the top. We're going to see Jenny in about 5 minutes. But I want to hear from That's it. I want to hear from you, Doug. As me and you enter into this elevator, the elevator doors close. I hit the top of the Shard. I want to hear from you. Sell me on D10. What is going to make me, the unknowing AV guy who has never heard of D10, who has been doing Zoom for the last 14 plus months? I love Zoom. You have that already in your favor. Now tell me what it is that D10 has, that little extra that's going to convince me from building an overly complicated system that I may have not want to be building. And go.
Let's go up the card. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Chris. So first of all, D10 are a strategic hardware partner for Zoom, right? So we provide all-in-one devices and service wrap for Zoom Rooms and Zoom for Home solutions. Okay. So we ultimately
strategic means you guys are working very closely together. Okay.
We co-design, co-develop our products from the outset to simplify Zoom Room experience. Yeah. So and we released the first Zoom for Home device as well with the D10 Mate. So that's how tight it is between the partnership is a real foundation. But ultimately, we're helping organizations all over the world communicate and collaborate more effectively and in a more engaging way across their employees, teams, customers, associates, right? And ultimately, we're helping these organizations up-level their Zoom user experience. And because the devices are so simple to use, easy to deploy, and they just work like right out of the box. You take them out, you fire them up, one cable, and you're away. Okay,
everything that you need is in a box.
That's it.
Okay.
So
everything in a box. Okay, cool.
So I'll give you a quick scenario, and I think this will be familiar to you. So every day people walk into a meeting room, video room, important meeting. They have great cameras and components and mics in the ceiling and displays. 15 minutes later, they're stressed out because the meeting hasn't started late because they didn't manage to get the video room working because someone changed the input on the display. They couldn't work out which cable was supposed to be for which microphone or which camera. They were struggling with the control panel, and then they find out that somebody disconnected cable in the last meeting when they were trying to do the same thing. Sound familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this happens all the time, right? So D10 was really designed to revolutionize that friction and remove the friction in the meeting room space. So imagine walking into a room, beautiful looking device on the wall, one cable, you walk up, you one touch, you start your meeting, you have crystal clear audio and video with great cameras and mics on there. If you want to use sharing, you do it wirelessly through the Zoom interface. So no dongles, no cables. And then if you want to use whiteboarding and annotation, share content, it's all in there. You can send your stuff digitally. Simple as that. Boom. Focus on your job. Have amazing meetings every time. Okay? Sound good?
Yeah, it sounds great so far.
So,
you got me.
So right now, you've probably heard about the hybrid workplace. 2/3 of companies out there are now looking at redesigning their workplaces as people go back to incorporate the new hybrid workplace and this new blend that is changing, right, to keep people engaged. And one of the key, and obviously that kind of device, we've got devices for all those different spaces to people manage, and you're seeing less big boardrooms, you're seeing more pods, more hot desks, more open spaces. So we're making devices specifically for those kind of environments and for the home, okay? And one of the key elements is flexibility. So these are 55-inch devices, weigh 23 kilos. So you can literally hang them on the wall like a TV, and then you can move them onto a mobile cart. And that's the simplicity. If you want to go back to the old model, you want to change a room with wired-in cables and mics, it's a nightmare. It costs a fortune. You have to rebuild the office. Super flexible, super agile, and that means in this uncertain environment, our customers are more agile and able to respond to what comes their way and helps them focus on what they're doing. So really, really big point of it. And then just the last thing is, you know, we're seeing lots more applications, especially during the pandemic. You know, we've helped a lot of schools, colleges, and education with hybrid learning, remote teaching, healthcare, telemedicine, where you're using a lot of video sharing content, annotation, mobile, like smaller devices and larger ones for meeting rooms. And then government, public sector, again, big growth area where you're seeing all these meetings that are happening within all these different spaces.
Interesting. So you run all the different sizes from the small tabletop to the bigger ones. I know. What's the biggest monitor you have? Because I got a big conference room. Hey, Jenny, how are you? Look at you on the 100th floor waiting for us. Express.
Oh,
all right.
Such a shame, right? So we'd like played around with graphics, hadn't we? They were going to trip everyone out, but producer Ben says they were looking laggy, so he didn't initiate them. And then so that everyone knows we had this countdown timer, but you can only start it once. And Ben accidentally started it just as we joined, like 10 minutes before the call. So then that wiped it out. So this was my lift doors. I wasn't doing something strange, but
I gotta say though, I wasn't sure about getting stuck in the elevator with Ben because he said he's from D10, and the only people I know from D10 wear those fancy vests, and he wasn't wearing a fancy vest. What?
Hey.
Oh, look at that! We are a fashion show now because
it's getting warm in London. It's getting warm in London. It's getting warm in London. I had to take it off.
London's never
no,
warm.
I know you're lying. You're not in London. London is never warm. That is no. My fact sheet here says it's never warm in London. That's what I hear. Only humid. It's
hot at the top of the shard, I tell you.
But I did know you were from D10 because I spotted your bright green Crocs with the D10 branding on it. Thank you again, marketing. So Ben, tell us one thing that I need to know is you're great at describing, you know, what the D10 can do, but you know what? I'm an AV nerd. I need to actually, you know, see it working. Where or when or where's the next show, tabletop show, event? Where can people see D10? Give us the dirt. Where is the first time we're going to see you guys back in action?
So very exciting being in the UK. The first time in person is the 23rd and the 24th of June. So less than a month away, with all fingers crossed, in Battersea at ISE. So ISE are managing to do some kind of sub-events. We're on ISE Live next week online, and the 23rd, 24th in London. So we will be there with Zoom, and we'll have lots of the devices to see. So if you're in the UK and you can get there, we've also got virtual studios with our guys, but yeah, it looks like there's going to be more and more events. So we're excited to get it out there.
That's awesome.
Also,
oh wait.
Also, if you can't wait that long, or if you can't make it to ISE in London, we have D10 at Innovation House in Bracknell.
Indeed.
Just gonna throw that out there.
Look at that shameless plug. Absolutely love that. And how can we get a hold of people at the Innovation House?
Oh, well, you can speak to any of your Midwich Group representatives, or you can contact me directly, jenny.hicks@midwich.com.
And there you have it. And that's how we do a shameless plug. Anyway. Oh, man. Doug, thank you so much for coming by, visiting us. But we cannot let you go without finding out the information of where we can find out more information about D10 and about you.
Yeah, so you can go to d10.com. We've got our site. Come and see us there. You can get hold of me on LinkedIn. You can reach out to me at dremington@d10.com with one M in the Remington. But please reach out. Like I say, we happily set up one-to-one sessions and get you going, and we can show you virtually as well. And it's the next best thing to the real thing. But that's usually that we have an incredible success rate in terms of people who look at our products, because the experience is so simple and such a great experience, and the adoption rates that people get is incredible versus some of the old models. So please reach out, give us a shout, and we look forward to speaking to you.
Thank you
Thanks
so much,
Doug, for joining us.
Thanks. Take care now.
So that
Bye-bye,
was that was interesting. Doug had a lot of information for us, and great to hear that the manufacturers are finally getting out and stepping out and bringing products out for us to see again. That warms my cold technical heart, and it makes me want to go out and go see things. So we do have a competition to get to, because we are also a sports enabled show, and we like to compete and have winners. We're not just TMZ and BBC all wrapped into one. We do compete, and there has to be a winner. And we have a winner from the previous contest for the Nike voucher, and the winner is Chris Keen, Unified Communications and Digital Signage Specialist at Kinley. Congratulations, Chris. We will be in touch. You have won the Nike voucher from our previous show. So stick around, folks, because at the end of the show, we ask you a question. We send you a link. You guys go there. You announce, what the answer is, and you're in the drawing for a big prize. And this month's prize is we're giving you 50 pounds worth of packed coffee vouchers. Yeah, we're going to caffeinate you, because I shouldn't be the only one this stir crazy at this hour. We want you to join us at the next one. And merch, because we also have D10 merch, thanks to Doug and his cool staff of merch specialists.
Did they get a vest? I wonder if they get a vest.
Only if you're in a cold weather environment, because apparently Doug does not like to wear his, unlike the other D10 people that are always sporting the vest. They don't care if it's Orlando or if it's Siberia. They're wearing vests. So that's a point. I'm deducting points from Doug's visit because he wasn't wearing it. So
not wearing a vest. Also over here, Chris, we call that a gilet. That's a gilet. Yeah. Yeah, over here, wow. the vest is a gilet. So I really would just want to throw out some last minute thoughts on hybrid working, because you know me, I have very strong opinions, and the last one is around those that are going to work from home, right? So it's going to be so important, everyone, to make sure that the people that are at home, whether that's on their flexi days or whether it's permanently and so on, that tolerance for camera off, that's going to go. That tolerance for dogs barking, etc., that's going to go too, because we're moving to a point now in most countries where we don't have that level of distractions, and if it's not efficient to work from home, then you probably aren't going to be doing so anymore. And the importance of the camera on is for your business culture to feel part of that team and so on. And let's be honest, none of us can get away, right, from the little right-hand box of ourselves. I think we've all joked with friends, haven't we, when you're on FaceTime and you can see that they're clearly looking at themselves and not looking at you. But it's the same, and that's what we've kind of built up in this period. So when we need our cameras to be on, we need to feel confident in what we're looking at in ourselves. And it's a call to action for everybody. It's time to invest. Those that are staying at home, those that have made do before now, it's time for a better camera. It's time for better lighting. Let's make sure that we give people the best possible chance of feeling confident on camera when they can see themselves, because they wouldn't have done if they were in a meeting room, and just keep that team camaraderie going. I think it's so important right now for us all to focus on the remote user and not the in-office user, so that no one gets left behind on this journey. And hey, let's tee up the next show. What is the next show?
There you go. The next show is on Friday. It's on Friday, June 25th at 3 p.m. British Summer Time. I have to always say that slowly because I want to go standard, and it's not standard, it's summertime. And that focus will be education from home learning and e-learning on demand, a quite timely topic as we are now transitioning as schools are starting to come to their summer recess or summer break. It's a good time to kind of reevaluate where people people are with their education on the online e-learning stuff, both at home and in the office, and how universities and schools are taking a look at this stuff. So please join us on June 25th at 3 p.m. British Standard Time. See what I did? British Summer Time. And we will be talking ed and ed tech, right? So Jenny, what's your thoughts on that? So you have any hints, any insights into what we can expect, or what your focus will be for the next show?
We've got a really good, well, he hasn't actually confirmed yet, but we're hoping to have a really good guest speaker who is an expert in pedagogy. I can never say that right. But, you know, in teaching and so on. And I think that it's going to be really interesting to hear from someone who works so closely in this part of the industry and look at the problems that we've discovered, because there's no excuse, right? From now on, if ever we have to move to a home learning setup again in the future, it will not fly if education isn't ready for it. So again, in the same way that we're going to lose the tolerance for the dogs barking, we're about to lose the tolerance for not having as good as is possible experience for home learning if ever we need to get our students, our young people back home again. And as I say, really, really excited to hopefully have a great guest speaker and expert on the topic. So I think the general feel is that 2 days in the office and 3 days at home seems to be the majority. I would say there's overwhelming support out there for Crocs, but underwhelming support for Crocs in the office. So I still feel disappointed.
Well, I just I got messages on Twitter from Matt Scott that said absolutely not, no Crocs in the office. I got people telling me depends. I hope they're talking about depends whether they should be wearing Crocs in or out of the office. I just hope they weren't telling. There's maybe too much information in that conversation right there. Outside of that, I would like to thank everybody for coming by and spending a little time with us on a Friday. I know it's a holiday weekend. This is one of those rare times where both the US and the UK kind of have a Monday off at the same time. You guys, one day I will figure out the bank holidays, and then I can really get to it. But remember, anything you guys are doing out there that you're following along on the Twitters and on the YouTubes and stuff, use hashtag Midwich Live. That is the hashtag that we have for the show. We are a once a month show. We'll be back. Jenny is excited for show number 4. I can't believe we got the show number 4 and we haven't messed up just yet. So producer Ben has been giving us thumbs up that we're doing okay, at least through the private chat. So I guess we're okay. You can find me and more about Jenny. We're going to give us our contact details. You can find out about Starin, which is the company that I work for here in the US. Starin.biz is the website. And me personally, you can find me on Twitter at Chris_Neto. And I'm on LinkedIn and all the social channels. Please feel free, connect with me. I'll even do a at-home version of a D10, D7 demo for you if you'd like. I've got that figured out. I got multiple cameras. I can even do the YMCA on the D7, which I did for a dance studio. So do not sell yourself short, folks. You can do D10, D7 demos and look like an idiot at the same time. But hey, whatever it takes, right? Jenny, where can people find out more about you and Midwich?
So you can find me on LinkedIn, Jenny Hicks. If there's more, try Jenny Hicks Midwich, or you can tweet me at Midwich Jenny. You can reach out to me if you're not sure who your local Midwich company is in whichever territory you're in as well. And hey, Chris is shouting about his D10, D7. This wall here, this wall is available for sponsorship. We will be planning to put a screen in. It's hard when your video is mirrored, right?
Yes.
That one's up for grabs. So if we've got any vendors watching and you would like your screen there, feel free to let me know and I will consider all offers. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Chris, wrap it up.
Absolutely. Once real quick, thank you, Mike Brandis, for pointing out that Post Malone has his own lines of Crocs. I guess the kids think it's cool. And Kate Calderon for saying, yes, they are making a comeback. I just don't know if that's just in high school. Thank you, Kate, for sending in that information via Twitter. Once again, this is Midwich Live. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. I expect to fully have a great show coming back to you next month. Stay tuned. We are all super excited about where this is going. Thank you all for spending time with us again. My name's Chris Neto. That's Jenny Hicks. And this has been Midwich Live.